On today's show, we feature Operation Graduation and Pope Elementary gets a new marquee. Next on Conversation. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us today. I'm Jeannie Curtis. For the last few years, the Arlington Independent School District has held Operation Graduation. This is a collaborative effort that requires the support of the community with the goal of increasing the graduation rate of AISD students. Here's more on this story.
Hello, my name is Wendy Carrington and I'm the Director of Dropout Prevention, and today we conducted our 4th annual Operation Graduation. Operation Graduation is when the school district comes together with community volunteers and we go out and seek students that have not returned to school. Today we're going to speak with some of the volunteers that joined us to look for those students. Esteban, thank you so much for coming today. Tell us what made you want to come out and help today with Operation Graduation.
Well, one of the things that for me, in my personal experience, I grew up in San Jose, Costa Rica, and I graduated high school there, and then I wanted to keep, when I was coming over to the United States to be a missionary, I realized how important it was going to be to have an education after I ended up my missionary work. And I've been able to see how that education became what I needed to be able to have a career in IT, which is my career now as a Microsoft engineer. And when Jamie Sullins reached out to me and invited me to do this, I said absolutely, because if I can do it, anybody can. Coming from a different country, different culture, different language, I wanted to be able to tell them my story and tell them, look what I was able to accomplish. If I can do it, you can do it too.
That's fantastic. It sounds like you have a wonderful story that is important to share with students. Tell me about your experience today.
Well, today we visited 7 students. 6 out of the 7 students' homes, some had moved. We couldn't find any leads to find the student, but we were able to get to one home, and that was the last home that we visited. And Grandpa opened the door, and the student was sleeping. And I told Grandpa, well, wake him up. This is important. And I explained to them they were all Spanish-speaking people, and that's where we thought, boy, this was meant to be, that I was here, and this was my list,
Fantastic.
And we got there. We told the grandparents, we're Operation Graduation. We're trying to help the students graduate and get a diploma. And so they woke up Manuel, that's the name of the student, and they woke him up. Mom woke up also. They came out, and he was not comfortable speaking with the whole family there, because the family was kind of like, go back to school, go back to school. I told him, just give me 1 second with him. And I asked the obvious questions of, Manuel, are you in a gang? Are you in drugs? Is there anything impeding you from going back to school? And all he said was, I don't like it. I said, well, tell me why you don't like it. He said, I just feel crowded. There's a lot of people, and they tease me. I said, we have options. I said, where do you see yourself 10 years from now? Where do you see yourself, now, today? What do you want to do when you're, in the workplace? And he said, well, I want to be a mechanic. I said, Manuel, the problem is, the reality is, you have to have at least a high school diploma to be a mechanic. I said, would you consider coming? If I can get you there, would you consider coming? And he said, yes. I said, well, get your clothes on. Let's go. We're gonna get you this. Grandma got so excited. She had to give herself a shot of insulin.
Oh, wow.
Because she's a diabetic, and she said that when she gets excited, her blood pressure goes up, so she had to give herself a shot of insulin. His grandfather had tears coming down his face. They were from Puerto Rico, and he just held my hand as we were leaving. He said, thank you, brother. Thank you. And I told him, I said, just get in the car, follow us. We got him here. We walked through that door, and I said, future graduate walking through this door, and just encouraged him. And just a minute ago, they left, and he just gave me a hug and said, thank you for getting me back to school.
That's fantastic. Every student counts, and that must have been a really good feeling for you guys today.
Absolutely. We struck out 6 times, but every second of this morning was worth that one student. And, it's a shame we couldn't get all 6, but that one student makes the difference. And I gave him my cell phone number. I said, if there's anything you need, you call me, and you better invite me to your graduation.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for coming today. We appreciate you.
It was an honor.
Tell us about your experience today.
Yes. Well, Wendy, first of all, when we opened Operation Graduation this morning, I shared with the group that there is not an excuse that we'll hear today that we can't overcome as a school system. There's not a reason that a student will tell us today that they can't come back to school that we can't find a solution. And I know you know that because that's your task and that's your job, and you know that every single day. But it's important for our community to know that, and more importantly, it's important for our students to know that and realize that whatever the condition, whatever the situation, whatever the reason for not being in school, we can help them solve that. And so today we had a good experience visiting with former students and students who have dropped out and not come back to school, and encourage every one of them to come back to school, obtain their education, because we know that that's a ticket for a successful future for them. And so when we talked one-on-one with the students, it was evident that when we talk about the future and when we give them a future orientation, they are inspired. And we have a variety of services, and you're well aware of this because you provide many of those, variety of services for students, and we know that we can connect them to those services, they'll be successful.
Exactly right. Every single student matters, and I'm always amazed that the students don't know they can come back or don't know what we have to offer. And it is important to get out in the community and inform them of that.
That's right. And today they were able to see that from the school system, we'll go to any length really to get them back in school. And I know that you know this from 600 New York and the center that was recently opened to specifically address the need of students who have dropped out or are thinking of dropping out or who haven't come back to school, that the importance there is that we provide the services, and we have one center that does that. We're partnering with TCC to also have a presence at 600 New York so that students can seamlessly go through the center, graduate from high school, and go straight into college and community college with TCC. So today was about providing students that window of hope, window to their future, and I think in many, many ways today we were successful, and I want to thank the community, your efforts, and all our volunteers today across the district that was able to provide that hope for students. And we had one in particular today, success story with a brother and a sister who had both dropped out of high school and had not returned to school. And so we began talking to them about how close they were in terms of credits and the opportunities that exist today for them to come back to school and obtain their high school diploma. And you could tell that initially they were a little reluctant to even visit with us, but as we spoke more about the opportunities and the fact that this is really the ticket to their future, they were inspired, and they were inspired to come back to school, and they made a commitment. In fact, they made us a deal, right, Wendy, and you were there. They made us a deal that they were going to go to 600 New York as their first starting point to go see the services that are available, and they will be connecting back to school. And so we expect to see them at 600 New York, and I know that if they don't show up, Wendy's going back over there. I know that you've made that commitment as well. So it's those type of experiences today, that one interaction that we had with those two siblings that potentially could change their lives, and that's why we do this work and continue to do the work in public education, because we know that continues to be the great equalizer.
Absolutely, and we will take very good care of them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Harmon, thank you so much for joining us today for Operation Graduation. Tell us about your experience today.
Well, we had a success. We met 3 or 4 students. One was interesting, a student who's a senior, should have graduated this past May or June, has all of his credits, but didn't pass 2 of the tax tests, math and science, just three questions shy.
So close.
Very close. So he's still living with his mom. His mom's encouraging him to get some help, and even though he's working today, he's following up with us so he can get some study help for the tax.
That's fantastic, and we offer that help at 600 New York, and students are welcome to come there. So how did the experience you have today, how did it make you feel?
It was great. It's always rewarding to be able to touch base with students and give them some hope. It's amazing that they're so close and they don't realize it. They just need that extra whisper in their ear, and sometimes it takes an educator instead of a family member to give them that information so they can at least ask for more. And when they don't want to come back to a comprehensive high school and they tell you it doesn't work for them, that there's a menu of options, and it's really up to the AISD employees to give them that information, because no one else can be a substitute for that.
As you were talking to the volunteers this morning, you mentioned that although you're the principal of Lamar, that this is a bigger issue. This is about Arlington ISD. Can you tell me about that?
It is. It's a district initiative, and we're providing students an opportunity to get back into school. We recognize that they've dropped out because they generally think, okay, the homeschool environment didn't work for me. And we have other options here. They just don't know about them. So we represent the school. This morning I knocked on the doors and said, Arlington Schools, good morning, so that if they didn't like their experience at their home school, that they knew that we were there representing the district. And the whole purpose is, let's find a venue that fits best for you. We're not trying to hard sell our home school, especially knowing that they dropped out because they thought that their only alternative was to go to that home school.
Thank you so much for coming today. Can you tell me about your experience?
We visited 5 kids today, and out of the 5 kids, we got 3 commitments, and then we committed to we got an extra person to come in. The student wasn't a Lamar student, but she's a Sam Houston student, but she also committed to the program, and we gave her lots of information about child care and all the extra resources she could have. I think what we realized is that these kids weren't really informed completely. They didn't really understand what they were missing. It could have just been one part of something, and they just didn't know where to ask for help. So that was kind of enlightening and had us thinking of ways that we can improve the process sooner so that they don't feel like that and wait till the end and decide that dropping out is the only way for them to go.
Fantastic. So it sounds like you made good progress and the students gained some valuable information today.
I guess the neatest things that I enjoyed was watching community members say, oh, we've seen y'all all day long. That's very impressive that you're out in the community and really reaching out to the kids and helping them out. So
that's important for AISD to let the community know that we do care about our kids and we don't want them to drop out. So that's another good benefit from this. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you.
Today we had a very successful day here at Lamar High School. We reached several students, and we're excited to talk to all of the other volunteers at all of our other high schools that also reached out to our students today. We're looking forward to making a commitment to follow up on those students, get them to come back and finish that high school diploma. At 600 New York is the location where my department is currently located, and at 600 New York we have services for all students. If you know anyone who hasn't finished their high school diploma and needs a diploma or a GED, please invite them to come see us at 600 New York, where we can help them, give them some advice and get them on the right track to finishing. Have a great day and stay in school.
Thanks, Wendy. If you haven't been a part of Operation Graduation yet, then you must volunteer next September. Now, after a long, arduous process, Principal Selena Kilgore was able to unveil Pope Elementary's new marquee.
Well, I just want to say good morning and welcome to each of you. Thank you for being here this morning. I've had the opportunity to visit with each of you just for a short time, but I do want to thank you for taking time out of your busy days to be here. This has been just an incredible project, collaboration of so many entities that you're going to hear about that this morning. And want you to know that all of this collaboration could not have happened without all of the people here this morning. Thank you. I know that many of you have heard that song before, so several of you can get up and sing that with them next time. No, again, I do thank you for being here. And we have a few people who we would like to speak this morning, and I do want to share with you a little bit of the history of Pope and the collaboration of this community. And this is just another example of the people here who are so dedicated and committed to the students here at Pope and the families. So, I mean, there have been a number of projects in the years that I've been here. I've been here for 15 years now. And from the very beginning, I think about when I first came to Pope, we didn't have our front sidewalks. We didn't have the landscaping that's in place. That was something that was a collaboration between PTA and the Star Telegram at that time came together, and we put the sidewalks in place, and also the track that is in the back of the building. We were one of the first elementary schools to have a track here that again was for the students, and that again was through our PTA. And then the landscaping that has come together. In that front area was a collaboration between our Dad's Club and our PTA. And then this front area, you may notice all these beautiful sidewalks and the beautiful landscaping over here. This was something that our Dad's Club also contributed, and there have been so many projects. Our science room, our very famous Teacher's Lounge, which we will invite you to come see and enjoy some refreshments afterwards. But those are just a few of the projects that this community has come together and in honor of our Pope students. And so the project that we're talking about today is our digital electronic marquee. And what a wonderful way to be able to communicate with our parents, our community, so that they know what is happening here at Pope. And this is something that will be here for many years to come, and that people will be able to enjoy. So I'm going to turn this over to Eric Woodall, and he's going to come up, or is it Javier's going to start first? Okay. Eric and Javier Najera. Javier is was Pope Dad's Club president last year, and Eric is our current Pope Dad's Club president, and they're going to share with you a little bit as to how this project came about. Thank you.
Thank you. Every time I drive by here, because we all live around here, I think of Jerry Jones and his big sign. Because back then it was the biggest thing anybody ever seen, but I'm proud of this. It's going to be a legacy that a lot of the guys around here will always know and remember as a project that we started to talk about probably 10 years ago. In 2008, we formed our original charter, became a legal entity, Positive Influence. We're the Pope Dad's Club, but we operate under Positive Influence. And that was the dream, and the expectation is to be able to do things like this. Ms. Kilgore described all the projects, but this was going to be a big one. We thought about applying for grants. We thought about what we could do for our kids. That was the main goal. And so when actually the day that this arrived in Arlington and Paul the shop, I literally went over there with our guys, and we had a little celebration because it was that grand of a moment, because all the meetings, all the things we talked about came true when that happened. And so as far as what this means to us and our school, it's just going to be a legacy, a moment that we're going to remember for a very long time. And I'm going to let Eric specifically thank the people that made this possible, not only in purchasing it, all the digging and pulling and carving and planning and labor that went into actually the moment when it came to life. So thank you all. And you know, this group of guys, it's always been an honor for me to be a part of, because every time we do something, we have these little people in mind, and that's why we do it. So, turn it over to Eric.
Thanks, Javi. I did want to take a moment to thank. There were a lot of people involved that made this happen, from different organizations within the school. The school itself donated funds to help. The Pope PTA helped as well. And then there were several dads or former Pope Dad Clubs members that came up and provided the equipment to dig the trenches so that we could run the wire and the electricity. And a couple of those dads are present. Jim LeBenz, who's been a great, when he was a member of the Dads Club, helped a lot, and even as these kids have moved beyond Pope, you can always count on Jim to help. Noah Cano, who's also here, was a big help with the fund writing process and getting us really hooked up with that so that we could get the funds necessary. And then a current dad that's not here, that's also part of the board, is Kenny Coas, who's become our kind of grant writer. And he's always looking for opportunities to get funds to do bigger projects. And he's, through submitting requests and being turned down, learned how to do it better. And, that's what they tell us, keep submitting, and eventually one will hit, and it makes stuff like this possible. I have a plaque here that recognizes the majority of those folks that we're going to present to Ms. Kilgore and Pope. And then here in a few weeks, we'll also have a plaque that we're going to affix to the end of the sign itself that will list these folks. And it's a nice, you'll be able to see it from the street. Anybody wants to come up and kind of see how it took place or who was involved, they'll be able to do that. And it's just, it says our digital marquee was made possible due to the generosity of and collaboration with the Arlington Tomorrow Foundation, 3DI Sign and Design, Positive Influence, Pope Dad's Club, Pope Elementary, Pope PTA, and Jim LeBen's 2013. I hope y'all can find it. That's very good. And I'll hold on that too.
Thank you so much. And I think, again, this is what is so incredible to me, is that I see that this collaboration of so many people that are dedicated to the children at Pope. And what's even more incredible is not only do these families in this community have children who are going here, who have children in the school, but many of the children have moved on to other schools, and there's still that dedication and that commitment to this school. And I think that speaks so highly of the character and the dedication of all of the people in this neighborhood, this community. So thank you so much. I do have, I know that our Pope Art Club would like to say a little something to those of you who are here. So I'm going to turn this over to Miss King from our Art Club. In addition to that, I do want to share, thank you guys, y'all did a great job. Yes. Yeah. We would like to give a small token of our appreciation, again, to those of you who were a big part of this project. And first I'm going to ask Paul, will you and your people come on up? I want to present this plaque to you. This is Paul Fultz and 3D Sign. Handing him a plaque. It has a photo of the marquee. It says thank you to Paul and to 3D Design, and says Pope families will enjoy our new digital marquee for years to come due to your generous contribution. Thank you from Pope Elementary.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes,
Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Next, I would like for our Pope Dad's Club members to come on up right here. It could be current and past dads as well, because I know that many of you are here. So please come on up. Don't be shy. Yes. And I'm presenting a plaque to them. It says, thank you to Pope Dad's Club. Our Pope families will enjoy our new digital marquee for years to come due to your generous contribution. Thank you to each of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I was going to give all of them hugs. Sending lots of hugs. Group hug. And next, I would like to invite our Pope PTA members who are here. Sarah Mendez is our Pope PTA president, and I see that there are several PTA board members here, so please come on up. And also a plaque here that says, thanks to our Pope PTA, our Pope families will enjoy our new digital marquee for years to come due to your generous contribution. Thank you. Thank y'all so much. Group hug. And we do have some members here from our city council who were part of the committee from Arlington Tomorrow Foundation. If you would please come on up, Mr. Bennett and Ms. Wool. And I also want to present this small token of our appreciation. It says, thanks to our Arlington Tomorrow Foundation for contributing to a thriving Arlington. Pope families will enjoy our new digital marquee for years to come due to your generous contribution. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, I'd like to invite Jim LeBenz to come on up. Jim. And any of your people here with you?
What's that?
Any of your people here with you?
Yeah.
Okay. This also, I'd like to say thank you, Jim LeBenz. Again, our Pope families will enjoy our new digital marquee for years to come due to your generous contribution. So we really appreciate you as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Thanks. And I, again, just want to thank all of you again. There were many people who were unable to be here this morning, but I can tell you that it's just been incredible to see what a group of people coming together, collaborating, and really setting goals and being able to determine and to create these wonderful projects. But I think more importantly, I see that it's the dedication from this community and the commitment to our kids that is most important, that I see that happens every day here at Pope.
That's Selena Kilgore with her assistant principal, Tiffany Smith. Congratulations, Pope. It's a great-looking sign. And it's time for us to sign out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time, right here on Conversations.